Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're breaking down a complete blueprint for YouTube success that is seeing some absolutely explosive growth right now. We've taken all the key insights from some of the fastest growing channels out there to give you a full roadmap. So let's just dive right in. I want you to start with this number, 1 billion. And no, that's not a typo. That is the actual number of views a brand new YouTube channel got. It's insane. So you're probably asking the same thing I did. How on earth is that even possible? It sounds completely unbelievable, I get it, but it is very, very real. And in this explainer, we are going to break down the exact strategy behind this incredible success. So here's our game plan. We're going to cover 5 key areas. We'll kick things off with the huge opportunity, what we're calling the new gold rush. Then we'll get into the nuts and bolts, your winning strategy, how to find a viral niche, and the AI tools to build the whole thing. And finally, we'll talk about what is arguably the single most important piece of the entire puzzle, the creator's mindset. So let's get right into part 1, the new YouTube gold rush. Why is now such an incredible time to get started? Well, it's because the potential rewards are bigger than they have ever been, especially if you know where to look. So, what does a billion views actually mean in your bank account? It translates to an estimated $100,000. A lot of people think you can't make real money with shorts because the payout per view is so much lower, but that kind of thinking just goes right out the window when you're pulling in views on this kind of massive scale. And the secret to making that money, well, it all comes down to one little acronym. RPM. That stands for revenue per mil, which is basically your earnings for every 1,000 views. Now look at this. A channel that targets an audience in India might make, say, 60 to 80 bucks for 100,000 views. But if you target a tier 1 country like the USA, you could be looking at $400 to $500 for the exact same number of views. That is a potential 5 times increase just by being smart about who your audience is. Okay, so that leads us perfectly into our second section, your winning strategy. Because getting that higher RPM, it isn't about luck. It's about setting up your channel intentionally from day one to attract that specific high-value audience. And here's a super simple checklist to follow. First, when you create your channel, start with a totally fresh Gmail account. Then, in your YouTube settings, set your country of residence to the United States. Now, this isn't about tricking the algorithm or anything. It's all about building audience trust. Think about it. When a viewer from the US checks your About page and sees United States, it just creates this instant subconscious connection. And finally, make sure you set your video language to English United States. These are small tweaks, but they send a huge signal to YouTube about who you're trying to reach. Now, the really cool part is that the strategy we're focusing on today is the faceless channel. What does that mean? It means you don't need a camera, you don't need to be on screen, you don't even have to use your own voice if you don't want to. The entire content creation process can be streamlined using AI tools, which just makes it an incredibly accessible way for anyone to get started. All right, you've got your strategy locked in, so what's next? The niche. This is so critical. You can have the best setup in the world, but if you're making content that nobody's looking for, you're just not going to get anywhere. So let's look at what's actually proven to work right now. And look, this isn't just a random list we dreamed up. This is based on analyzing channels that are absolutely exploding. And 5 high potential niches really stand out: automated history, Roblox shorts, quizzes, 3D documentaries, and commentary. Let's just zoom in on 2 of these right now. First up, and I know this one's gonna sound kind of weird, boring history. You're probably thinking, seriously, who on earth is gonna watch that? Well, turns out, millions of people, but not for the reason you might think. And this is where the genius of it comes in. As one creator in this space pointed out, a huge number of people in the USA have trouble sleeping. So these channels, they're not creating content to be actively watched. They're creating audio to be listened to while you're trying to fall asleep. By making these long, calm, kind of boring history videos, they're actually solving a real problem for people. And the result is incredible watch time, because people just let the videos play all night long. Okay, next up, we have an absolute rocket ship of a niche right now, Roblox Shorts. If you are looking for pure, explosive growth, this is a niche you absolutely have to look at. See, to really get this niche, you have to understand the audience. Roblox isn't just a game. It's a global phenomenon with over 1 billion young players. What that means is you have this massive built-in audience on YouTube that is just starving for content. They're super engaged, and they will spend hours and hours watching videos. Okay, so you've got your strategy, you've got your niche. Now for the big question. How do you actually make the videos? Well, welcome to the AI Content Factory, your modern toolkit for creating high-quality, faceless videos at a massive scale.
The whole thing really breaks down into a simple 4-step process. Step 1, you generate your script using a tool like ChatGPT. Step 2, you create a really high-quality voiceover with a text-to-speech platform like Murf.ai. Step 3, you generate incredible visuals with an AI art generator like Leonardo.ai. And finally, Step 4, you put it all together in a free and super easy-to-use editor like CapCut. The point is, with these tools, literally anyone can do this.
All right, so we've covered the strategy, the niche, and the tools. But honestly, none of it, and I mean none of it, matters without this final, critical piece, the creator's mindset. This is all about understanding the reality of the journey you're about to start.
We all have this dream, right? That beautiful, smooth, exponential growth curve on the left. But the reality of building a channel, or really building anything like an investment portfolio, looks a lot more like the curve on the right. It's choppy, it's volatile. There are going to be months where your views are down and you feel like you just want to quit. The real magic is staying invested through all those ups and downs, knowing that the long-term trend is heading up. I absolutely love this metaphor from the fitness creator Bro Pump. He compares being a creator to leg day at the gym. In every single heavy set of squats, there is a moment where your brain is screaming at you to stop, to just quit, telling you it's too heavy. But that exact moment of resistance, that's where the growth happens. And that's the real secret to all of this. Pushing through that mental barrier, posting that next video when the last one totally flopped, staying consistent even when you have zero motivation, that is what builds discipline. It's not really about building a view count. It's about building your character as a creator.
So ultimately, when it comes right down to it, the journey of a creator is a test of character far more than it's a test of tactics. The blueprint is right here. The tools are ready and waiting. So the only question left is, are you ready to get under the bar?